Derby. I'm here over at the drum department over at Sam Ash. I had the privilege of meeting John, how many years ago? Is it like 7 years now? Okay, when we did one of the first drum summits. John is a pioneer in the industry of what he's doing, performing with a DJ. Definitely combining rudimental and DCI drumming with DJ. This clinic is sponsored by our good friends at Mapex and Majestic Percussion, also our friends at Feisty, and our good friends up at Beta. Okay, so it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce to you John Donovan, Chris Triola, and they take the show down. Thank you, John.
In 1969, beat matching became popular. Who knows what beat matching is? Raise your hand. What is beat matching? Speak up loud so we can all hear you.
How do I describe it? It's you take two songs, you're able to match them beat for beat perfectly in the BPMs.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That has pretty much still maintained the popular thing to do in major metro areas. Thank you for that. Beat matching actually in parts of rural USA is actually talked down by the catering halls that pretty much control the show, because the catering halls in rural PA want to tell the clients not to spend over a certain amount, and they will tell you that mixing, matching, all that stuff, and God forbid turntablism, it's all looked at as bad because they want to control to basically the DJ company down to an $800 commodity level. So beat matching in civilized, developed markets is of course the norm, okay? As you get further away into shallower populations, the catering halls will start to actually tell the clients, you don't want DJs that do that. And they will start to actually talk down upon it. It's pretty bad. So you've got amusement commodity level. Okay, these are the guys that, you know, Justin, we could not play along with. They can't keep a beat. They can't keep a dance floor moving. They don't know how to read their crowd. You know, it just, you know, the conditions just are deplorable. I mean, it's like any band leader would roll over in his grave from like the 20s and 30s at what some of this garbage is. Okay, then you've got the DJs that can mix. Okay, that is a bulk of the great DJs that I've played with that can mix. Okay, scratching, 1975. I'm sure you guys know what scratching is. And despite what people outside of the DJ industry say, it is not just wiki. There's a lot of guys in the mobile DJ industry that will talk turntablism down because they're just not at that academic and intellectual understanding to know exactly what it is. Scratching, when done right, the turntablist. Are you guys familiar with turntablism? Okay. Turntablism is like the ultimate Jedi. That's DJing actually being an art. Okay, that's when it gets real. That's when it actually becomes an instrument, whether it's TV, whether it's satellite. There's DJs controlling everything that goes on at this planet at all times. And when I tell you DJs control everything at every level, I mean it. I don't care what style of music you're in, where your ambitions are, you're going to run into DJs. Whether you recognize them as DJs or not, they control the world. Kind of like, I don't know if it was Men in Black or whatever that movie was, when the guys with the black glasses just starting appearing everywhere and the agents are everywhere. Yeah, they really are everywhere. They controlled everything for a long time. I do get the chance to frequently see other saxophonists, keyboards, violin. The other week there were violin 1, violin 2, violin 3, cello, viola, electric bass, drum set, and somebody had doubled on trumpet, on trombone. Okay, so there are fusions with this. And as we'll talk, not all these companies are qualified to know what to look for in talent. There's a lot of embarrassing things that do happen in this industry. There's a lot of great and good, and I'll keep pushing it, and I have people I work with till the day I die. But there's a lot of smoke and mirror, you know, puffy crap that goes on, and we're going to talk about it tonight. Hi, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Greco. From my research, as the bands were starting to die, the percussionists, primarily in Brooklyn and the Bronx, didn't actually stop playing in the clubs. Some of the percussionists kept their relationships with the club owners, and when the bands were let go and the DJs were brought in, there are drummers that did make the transition through. These people have reached out to me on social media, because I put into press in my DJ Times feature that I was told that this whole concept started by a company called Heart to Heart by Richie Hart in 1982. Yes, in the private event market, that is the case, and it seems the consensus, but overall, it never stopped in New York. The drummers never stopped playing. We were there through the whole time. Our culture remained. DJ statistics. These stats are actually from DJ Times. According to a 2012 study, there are 1.25 million professional DJs in the world. In the U.S., there are an estimated 61,000 mobile DJs booking private parties. I'm not talking about the club DJs, I'm not talking about the bedroom DJs, I'm talking about people attempting to make a living and feed themselves off of their investment. They're trying to get an actual, tangible return on their investment. Okay? Of those 61,000, there's only about 200 or 300, probably my best guess, that are in any capacity to truly work with live entertainment or have the business to hire with live entertainment. The average retail, okay, that a percussionist will be sold for by the DJ company to the client is anywhere from $600, $700 to $1,500 that they will actually sell it for. Now, what they're actually going to pay to the artist, it's up to the artist to make sure what they're getting paid, but what they're actually paying out, it's some of it's an absolute scam. I mean, there are still companies that are baiting and switching money.
To the agent, right? To the booking agent.
As the DJ company acting as the booking agent, yes. As we, in school we study, booking agents are supposed to take, 15 to 18, 20% cut, maybe a little more on something lucrative. Out here in Long Island, it's the reverse. They want the whole nut, the whole thing, okay? Justin's situation. I'm not going to mention the company names. I'm going to be very clean about this, but his story has to be told. I've been scammed. I know that I've been sold for lots of money by certain companies, okay? And, I've seen very little, small percentage of what I should be getting, which is why over time I've had real people tell me what I got to do, strategize. Justin was put in a position where he was actually, my videos were shot, put on a company's website. Justin's all of a sudden getting the work. This is called bait and switch. This is how I know Justin. This is why I'm saying I'm reaching out to the younger guys, because you guys got to know how to watch your ass, man. I'm telling you, this is a big game out here. This is big boy money, what goes on. These guys will go ahead and say, oh, yeah, we have John Donovan or whatever. They'll put Justin on the job, okay? That's if they even put your name on the video. Never let a company put you out without your name. It shows a lack of respect, and right away you cannot trust them. Okay? Let them trust you as an artist. Any musician could never possibly be a threat to a mobile DJ company. We couldn't possibly be a financial threat in any way, shape, or form. And they think that they're foolish. Okay? Justin, let's say he was sold anywhere ranged from, let's say, $750 to $13, whatever they can possibly now. Sometimes these companies will lowball at $400 or $500 retail. But then Justin actually had somebody acting as a manager on his behalf that actually took whatever percentage the company was willing to give, and then only give Justin $75, 10% of what he was sold for? I mean, when I heard about this, I wanted to cry, because it's like, I know I've been there, I got through it. Not that bad. I mean, $75, granted, that's still twice as much money as the average musical theater gig you're going to get out here in Long Island for the community and regional theater. Did you have to grease catering halls back to get work, or did you get it pure? You did?
If I was on their list as a recommended band, yeah, I used to get about 10%.
Okay, so they got a 10% kickback?
And that was towards the end. Before that, we actually used to buy a catering concession. I would pay like maybe 50 grand to a caterer.
Okay, sorry.
I would pay about 50 grand to a caterer, say.
Yes.
And that would
up
be
front?
Up front, and that would be advance commissions.
Yes.
So.
And then plus you got to worry about your kickbacks later.
No.
Okay.
That was based on. It could have been whatever deal you worked out, 10 or 15% per job, and it worked out to zero. So I was advancing them the commissions.
What year time frame was that you were paying?
1980s and 90s.
Those must have been some really nice halls you were wedged in with, Peter.
Oh, they were top flight halls. But the benefit of doing that was the caterer wanted to see you work down to zero as quickly as possible. So they used to push the crap out of you, and you'd book 60, 70% of their work. Because when you got to zero, a new contract would be signed. If you thought it would take you 2 years to get to zero, but he got you there in a year and a half, the next contract maybe what 60 grand instead of 50. And that's how that worked. Then they started getting greedy when the business started changing and shrinking. They started, instead of selling a concession to a particular band or DJ or photographer, they would put 2 or 3 of each type on their list. And then whoever booked it would get 10%. That was the downfall, because then you would have somebody would hire XYZ caterer, and there'd be 3 bands, 3 DJs, 5 photographers, all calling them and saying, we're the recommended company.
Yeah.
So at that point, people then said, you know, everybody's a recommended company, and then they just go to showcase.
Loyalty became something not of value at that point.
Exactly. So a lot of myself and a lot of other people just walked away from it.
I'll tell you something though. As much as people rag on the wedding and mitzvah business, I think that the people that do rag on it were never really in it to understand how serious it can get. I'm at production level shows where I do get chills, where there's custom audio done for this custom, and every single inch of that show, just like a drum corps show, is designed and executed, and I do still get chills once in a while. Sometimes I get the reverse chills. I'm smiling and I just want to go throw up in a bucket somewhere because it's a complete bag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blizzard Lighting. You're about to witness the one and only PCI World Champion John Donovan, the party percussionist, as seen at DJ Times, Mobile Beat, NAMM, and with 311. Original music production provided by Hollywood fame award-winning producer Joy Basu.